Okay, so just a side note, today is the 649 day. So luck is on your side today, but this song is coming through, and I listened to two different versions. One is a man singing, and one is the grandma. And the song was playing over in my head as I'm waking up this morning. I kept hearing, remember me. Da, 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 da. Remember me. And I couldn't think of what song it was, so I found it. Okay, so pass on loved one or somebody that is here in the physical is talking to you right now. Remember me. Though I have to say goodbye, remember me. Don't let it make you cry, for even if I'm far away, hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night when we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I am with you, only way I can be. The only way I can be, till you're in my arms again. Remember me. So, they're asking you for patience if they're here in the 3D. Remember me, hang on, I'm almost there. For those of you that have lost, really special people to you, whether they are here in the 3D or are here in spirit. We are always with each other. We're multidimensional. No matter your situation. That's the beauty of life. So, your person or persons are saying, don't forget me. We're here with you always. You just need to listen to be able to hear us. We are trying to help guide you into the Great Awakening. The ones that have passed before us, the ones that didn't seem right or fair due to age or whatever the circumstance, those individuals are to aid us in this shift. Their souls and spirits knew why they were leaving the earthly plane. They left the earthly plane, but they did not leave you. And as I record this Great Awakening, I channel my brother and I speak to him quite often through telepathy and with my masculine. All three of us actually speak in telepathy. And as I move through this, and as I move through recording all this, it's a process to prove to myself that this is real, that we're multidimensional. And then it'll be proof for you, the viewer, when I have it all compiled together. because I've been recording this journey for 5.5 years. In the last 4 or 5 months have been pretty intense. I will come to find out later, if all of my documentations that I have been recording over the last 5.5 years are okay or not. I think I'm going to sit on it for another month. I got a new 4 terabyte hard drive, a big tall tower to keep everything protected. And bit by bit, you're going to see pieces of my life be revealed and released. Just remember that it's all worth it in the end. When you're going through these crazy, chaotic times, it's all worth it in the end. It's learning to live in the chaos that is important. It's not having everything perfect. It's learning to create your own balance in your life, especially if you're a spiritual person and you're going through the Great Awakening. Because the last few months is a bumpy fucking ride. Like the 5 years has been bumpy, but when you go through that portal to your I ams and you just are getting pieces of who you are, it's hints. And then you have to track those hints down. It's not always shown to you directly in that moment. For me, I knew I was in biblical times. I was racing past time. I was going so fast, I couldn't even see where I was at. Do you understand? When I'm going through this portal into the past lives, I was traveling so fast. I was literally on the ground, hanging on to my banister, screaming. I don't know how nobody next door didn't hear me. And my brother was in one ear, and my dear friend's mom was in the other. It's okay, Mel, you're going to be okay. And I could hear my masculine. It's okay, Mel, you're okay. And I'm like, are you here? Are you okay? It's okay, Mel, you're okay. Keep going. And we're rushing through this portal of time. In that portal of time, I realized that I zipped past biblical times, all the way into Egypt times, into the times of the beginning of the earth. I was there. I was present. I could feel myself. Pyramids, Egypt. Everything was just Egypt. It's not even like I could feel it. And then there was 3 names that came to me. Not 2, 3. And the third one I still have to look into. 2, I know for sure who I am. The third one was a correction. But now I often wonder if the timeline would allow for me to be that person as well. So I haven't gotten that far because I zipped from Egypt to then biblical times to then the 1300s to then I feel like it's 1965 or 1967 and I died. My last life before I came here. And I was either a baker or a poet. But for those of you that aren't spiritually inclined, I'm coming to you humbly to say it's time. And the way that you make the shift is making the shift within you. And people say we cannot change the world one person at a time. And I'm telling you, and I'm here, and we are here to share with you that it is possible. One person at a time that can heal and ascend. They must be done together. To fully ascend, you must be healed. We need to get you to that point. For most people, it's harder to open up when you aren't healed. And that's what we're here to show you how to do. That's why I've been going through these motions with one particular client, that he is allowing me to record him in his authenticity, in his vulnerable states. To show you, the viewers, the transformation that can be made from the inside out as we go through this great awakening. The ones that come to you, the high priestess, the ones that come to you, the empresses, the ones that come to you, the magicians, the ones that come to you, the light beings, the starseeds, the earth angels, whatever you have labeled yourself, the gifted, the ones that know their powers, the ones that understand and know who they are, the ones that understand and know that it is time to shift into your authenticity of your craft, to share it with the world and help aid in this great awakening. It is your time to shine. It is your time to shine right now. The ones that are almost there, keep going. You're almost there. Keep going. You're almost there. Shh. I know it's chaotic. Shh. I know it's hard. But when you can be there for yourself, it's the best thing and the best gift anybody will ever give you, is the gift of being alone. And I know you don't want to hear it. I know it fucking sucks. I know it hurts. I know. But it's the best gift for you, because it's going to teach you how to be there for yourself. When you can learn to be there for yourself without something else aiding in that coping mechanism, you are about to step into your true authenticity. You mark my words. One by one, day by day, you let go of all those coping mechanisms. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a slow transition. Give yourself grace. Give yourself a hug. Love yourself. Through this process, love yourself. When I went through this process for the last, I don't know, Alexa, how long has it been since February 4th?
Sunday, February 4th, 2024 was 5 months, 2 weeks, and 5 weeks ago.
5 months, 2 weeks, and 5 days ago was when I went through my portal. And I'm waking up at 6:30 a.m. I've been up for about an hour. Thinking, man, you know what? I fucking did it. It's been a long Motherfucker. It's been long. It's been hard, but it's been rewarding and it's been satisfying, and I feel fucking amazing. I feel amazing. I feel better in my skin. I feel better in my body. And I'm telling you right now, if anybody else was here, I don't know if I would have gotten here. So thank you. Anytime my masculine is away from me, I say thank you. Feminines, you have to say thank you, because your masculine and God and your spirit, your soul, is giving yourself a gift to be alone. We have to be okay in the quiet by ourselves. We have to figure it out. We have to be okay alone. When you're going through this portal of your I ams, it's a discovery process. You are not told all the information when you go through that portal. Do you understand? It is an opportunity for you to step into your truth, and it's only up to you whether you want to keep following the pieces of the puzzle to find out who you are. You have not ascended far enough to get that information. Do you understand? The ones of you that get that information downloaded to you, that's so important that some people that are not ascended will go through this very quickly. I feel like I'm here to show the ones that have the harder time. Even though I have the rite of passage, even though I know my gifts and powers that lie within me are dormant, I have the knowing of them. Does that make sense? So now I'm going to take that knowing of them and I'm going to keep putting the pieces together. I'm going to keep following the path. And as I do that, my gifts keep being unlocked. Why? Because I believed, because I listened, because I went through the goddamn portal and I believed what I went through. And I had to go through the chaos to get out. The only way out of this is through. Many, many, many people on the earth will awaken, and it's going to happen a lot faster than it did for some of us. Some of us came in our knowing and then we lost it and kind of come back. We all came in our knowing. But some of us came and they still have their gifts as adults. They didn't fully forget. Then there's some of us that kind of forgot. And there's some people that really forgot. I'm like that kind of forgot kind of person. And now I need to show you the ones that cannot remember, that do not remember, and maybe even perhaps the ones that don't want to remember because there's something or someone or something outside of themselves telling them it's not real. When you can see it for yourself, you'll understand it. You cannot understand what you do not know until you know it. Do you understand? So I will come to you from a place of probably that you don't understand. And in the lack of the understanding is where you're going to gain the knowledge, because you're willing to listen. All you need to do is be willing to have an open mind and listen. Throw everything else that anybody ever told you out the window. I don't care if it's on TikTok. I don't care if it's on YouTube. I don't care if it's in a Bible. I don't care where it is. I need you to search for you. In the search for you, you will find the answers to the universe. I am telling you. And I know I don't even know them all yet. But I know when I am channeling and and the knowledge that's coming through is not even my words, but it makes sense. I understand I am in my I am essences. And I know that they will be revealed to me and to the world as I go through this process to teach you how to get there. Brilliant. Along this journey, you will say, why me? Why me? Why me? I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't fucking do this anymore. I can't tell you how many times I have screamed at the top of my lungs saying, I can't fucking do this anymore. Why would you give me this assignment? Why would I give myself this assignment? Why? Because we are made to shake things up. You and me, the chosen. We are not to play small anymore. We are to show our light and show the way. If you're having a hard time to find your I ams, reach out. If God is placing it on your heart to come work with me, come see me. All I ask is for your dedication, your open ear, and an open heart. If God has placed it on your heart to work with me, then I need you to reach out to me because I know I see you. I see you. I see who you are. I have a list already compiled. I know who I am to work with. Either their passed on loved one comes to me, or they begin to reach out. I only have limited spaces because I am not charging. Because I do this in a very free-spirited way. I do this in my way. I do this in God's way. I do this on your time, my time. It's a very casual interaction with me. But it's a very serious interaction when you're speaking with my guides. Does that make sense? When you're speaking with my I ams. When you come see me, you're coming to see me. But the knowledge that you gain is not just from me, Melodie Rose. It's from the earthly starseed part of me. That is why my name is Melodie Rose, your earthly starseed. I am of earth, but I am of the stars. When I gave myself this name, I did not understand it in its fullness until now. Do you understand? All the courses, everything that I have been working on in the last 5.5 years, if I posted it, it has relevance to this journey for me and therefore for you, because then I can bring my teachings to you. And so that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm going to be for the next little while, is compiling everything that I have documented, recorded, written, experienced, been, will be. For the rest of my life, I will be channeling information for you. For the rest of my life, I will be of service to you. For the rest of my life, I will do whatever I can do to help humanity flip. because we are imbalanced and we need to balance and rebalance this earth for the shift that is coming. We hear about this shift in many different religions and creeds, I'm hearing. This and that can be true. This is what my assignment is here on earth. My assignment is to prove to you, the world, that this and that can be truth. There are many of us right now that are stepping outside the conforms of the rational world that we live in, and we step into another dimension to get our answers. In doing this, for the ones that have the access to this knowledge, it's time to share. It's time to share in your own words. It's no longer a time to go searching for it online. Online is to be your confirmation. The technology is to be your confirmation, but not necessarily your source of information. You are your source of information, then you can go into the worldly world to find confirmation. That is how you are going to find the right path. You are going to follow the clues. They call them rabbit holes, I guess. But think of a rabbit hole within your own daily life without listening to online influences. 721. That's where you will find the knowledge from Orion's belt. You're going to find the knowledge from there when you are open enough to it. Shut down your computer. Shut down the news. Shut down anything that you're hearing about spirituality and just listen. If you are drawn to read something, read it. If you're drawn to watch something, watch it. Then if you're drawn to research something, research it. But the message has to come within. And then you need to explore it. Downloads do not always come in as like, done. That's the information. Like when I do readings, that's the information I'm giving to you right now. Quite often in my own life, it's the opposite. It's like, oh my God, I have to figure out what the heck this message means. And then I'm going through my days, finding the other pieces. And that's how I got here. That is how I found my I ams. That is how, and I know it is how, I will be in union with my masculine. Because we are going through this together, whether it's simultaneously and or if it's bits and pieces of it are fragmented in other timelines. You will both experience it at both the same time, because as you're experiencing it, you're both there. Regardless if the person in the portal with you has gone through yet, they will experience the exact same thing when it is their time. Except for you will be there. Do you understand? This is how this works. It's to prove the theory of time. Relative time, they're saying. Relative, is that a thing? Alexa, what's relative time mean? Alexa, volume 10. Alexa, what does relative time mean?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. Simply explained, this means that, for example, two clocks that move through space at different speeds tick at different speeds. The time is therefore dependent on the speed of the observer and is therefore relative.
Okay. Thank you. See, sometimes I don't have the best vocabulary. Okay. So sometimes I say word, I'm like, oh, what's that mean? Alexa's great for that. So I know that from my own experience that this is real. So until you have that for yourself, maybe you won't believe it. I was fortunate enough to already have gone past all that conditioning that it wasn't real. We already know it's real. There's already studies on all this. So if we know it's real, why can't it happen to you, or why shouldn't it happen to you? Huh? Maybe even better question, why shouldn't it happen to you? Aren't you worth it? Aren't you worth to go into the new earth and not to be left behind? With the rest of us can think and feel and be free? Or do you want to be left behind in the 3D world where everything is just money and consumables? Do you want to be free, or do you want to be a prisoner? Which one? We still have to live in this world, but we can be free in it. The more people that shift, the more easier it's going to be to rebalance. We have ascended in the wrong way. Technology is great, but it's not the answer. Ascending, we have gone backwards. We were not to ascend in technology, we were to ascend in the mind. And we were trying, as a culture, as a society, as us here on Earth, we are waking up one by one to beat the race. Do you understand why it is now? Why is it now you see all these people awakening? Why? How many gifted people do you know? I guarantee you at least know one psychic now. I couldn't say that when I was a kid. Heck, I couldn't say that for most of my adult life. Why is that? Why are we here right now in this time doing all this? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's because we have to be here now. The technology had to be here. Why did the technology have to be here? Because it'll aid us in the shift. It will aid us in the communication of the information. In biblical times, when we were all here many times, and so was Christ. All of them were here many times. Now, the world is awakening to good and to evil. And now the world should awaken to the truth of this and that can be true, and that Jesus Christ traveled through many lifetimes to get here again now in today's time. Do you understand? It can both be true. Imagine that. We're all fighting over what? To be right? There are things within this, the breakdown of all this information, I don't even know yet. Now I am being instructed to break down the missing pieces of the Bible and to read the emerald tablets in their fullness. I'm not a Christian. I love Jesus and he saved me. And I believe in him. And I know there's so much more to it. Because I went through a portal to my past lives. Because I know they exist. Because I know time after time after time after fucking time, God proves to me I am on the right track in the ascension to the Christ-like energy that everybody talks about in many, many, many religions, not just Christianity. We do not own Christ. Christians, you do not own him. You do not. He is a free spirit. He has been here many lifetimes. You do not own him just because he was in the Bible. And his story must be told in the full truthness of it. Don't ask me how it's supposed to be done. I just know it's supposed to be done. It could be 50 years from now. I don't know. But all I do know is that I know I'm on the right path. How do you know you're right, Mel? I don't know. I feel pretty damn good. How do you know you're right, Mel? I don't know. I keep getting good things given to me. How do you know you're right now, Mel? Well, I don't know, but God keeps showing up and telling me I'm right. Because when I ask for that sign, by fucking God, it shows up. I want to see a blue jay feather on my deck. I don't trust that I just got handed 4 more. 4 from other people. I didn't find those blue jay feathers. I want to see one on my deck. The next morning I wake up to a blue jay, the peak of my roof. Making that loud sound that they make. You know, that really high pitched one? I look up, big guy. And I thought, wow, beautiful. So beautiful. And I turned around to get the barbecue propane tank because I needed it. And I turned around with it. And guess what I almost stepped on? A blue jay feather on my deck the very next day. And I have many of these stories. That's just the coolest, probably. I have many of these stories documented over the last 5 years. So nobody will sway me. Nobody can tell me any different. And that's because I learned it for myself. A book did not need to tell me what I know. I feel it for myself. I created a personal relationship with God. Is this not what the Bible wants us to do? And he is communicating to me through signs and synchronizations that I will show you time and time again as truth throughout my journey. I have realized that I have been writing a book all along. I have realized that I have been documenting a series. I have realized I've been writing a movie. I have realized I have written TED Talk speeches. I have realized the content that I have created is the empire. For those of you that are gifted, go back to your content to find your material to help aid you financially to get through this shift, because it is a time now when your services will be needed the most, and you know it, I know it, the people cannot afford them. So we need to figure out other ways to make money in the 3D with the consumables. But the healing must be free. Right? For now, anyways, the one-on-one coaching, it needs to be free. Why? Because the people can't afford it. The people that need it can't afford it. Could you afford it? I couldn't. I couldn't afford this. I couldn't have even afforded $100 a month. Okay? I would have done it. But really, in all honesty, right now, who can afford it? Who can afford all this? Who can afford to live? Who can afford the groceries? Who can afford all this stuff? Right now, the gifted are going to have to be the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice, Mel. 2020, don't you remember? You wrote it down. The sacrifice. You've been wondering what it is. That's the sacrifice. Again, I've been documenting this journey. You're seeing it live unfold. 5 years ago, 2020, 4 years ago, right when COVID came, I had major downloads. A lot of them were biblical. And what was I saying? I lost track. Melodie. Hang on, it'll come to me. Let me pause this for a second. Can't afford it. People that can't afford it. That's what I was going on about. People that cannot afford the services. I couldn't have. I took courses within my abilities for the business, which were funded, 4, 5, 6, which if you are in New Brunswick, most particularly, I'm going to tell you a story in a minute. This is probably going to be from a part of the podcast. But the story is about, hang on a minute. Okay, not having the money. I was like, where was this story going? Once I compile my course as a course and not just like one-on-one. Like right now, my one-on-ones will be free. It's only for a selected few, and your name has to be on the list, basically. And I know that those people will come to me. Now, with that said, as time goes through and goes on, and I compile my actual content for the course, because I'm building it now as I go through with you, the individuals that will allow me to record your journeys. They will be used for documentary purposes. That's something that you and I would work out. But eventually I'll have courses coming out with a price tag. And I say this, like, we need to be able to price our courses so they're affordable. But we also need to be able to obtain income. So there is a way within New Brunswick, if you're a small business, that I feel that I'll be able to have access to government funding. Because I use the exact same government funding, and I know individuals that actually have their courses on the government. It's not a platform, but it's access to that course with funding. Now, because of the genre of this field, it may be harder to get approved right now because I did see that the government is cutting back on aiding in courses such as things like this. But if I have my way, it'll be a course for at least business owners that are gifted, right, in your field to be able to have some of your course paid for. That's one way that I see things that could unfold that way. So that's something for me to work on. And I have many balls in the air. And I think that's what makes it so hard when you're alone doing it, especially if you're a divine feminine, there's supposed to be two of you. It's hard, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. In the end, your masculine is giving you a gift. I've always said this to my masculine. He can attest to it. Somewheres within the separation, I send him an email saying thank you. So thank you. Because I know that you've been here every step of the way. And I know that you know that for yourself on this journey. Your masculines know that you're there. Feminines, you know your masculine is there. You know that these types of relationships cannot be destroyed by anybody, not even the person themselves, not even you yourself, because your love is so deep and so rich and so pure. It's found itself because it just exists. Life after life after life after life after life after life. You will always know that person. That person will always know you. But right now, in this time and space and dimension, the tests are for us to awaken 2 by 2. That's the message. A lot of the people that awaken will awaken 2 by 2. And if they awaken on their own, they are then therefore awakening the other without the other even knowing it. Do you understand? It's energetics. It's something that you put within the atmosphere that switches and changes it up for another person. You are energetically charged and connected to all. And you're definitely connected to your other half of you. One does one thing, one has to do the other. Keep rising, feminines, and your masculine will have to rise to the occasion. It's that simple. Love yourself, and your masculine will have to love himself. You have to be whole before you can become one. And bit by bit, piece by piece, you'll put the pieces together and you'll get here. And I still have days that are hard. I scream and I yell and I fucking get mad at my masculine, or I'm sobbing, or I'm just give up. Can I just give up? I just want to give up. Like, I have them recorded. What I'll release, I don't know. Because they're very personal and very intimate, very vulnerable. But maybe somebody needs to show it to understand that it's real, for others to understand what you're going through is real. 919, these relationships are real. Multidimensional beings are real. Aliens are real. Like aliens. The starseeds are real. The gods and goddesses of the world are real and they still reign. They've been here many lifetimes like Jesus. Are you getting it yet? We all been here before. We're all here to do it again, and we're all here to awaken at the same time. But be sure, if we are awakening, they are awakening too. Your core I am essences are awakening. So the ones with the frequencies that are not for this earth or not meant to help balance the earth will awaken too. They've awakened first, they're saying. First, Mel, they've awoken first. Okay. So they've awoken first, they're saying. I have to correct myself because I don't know my I ams do. Do you understand? Are you getting it yet? I listen. So they're already here. The negative entities are already here, and the positive ones are to come to rebalance. Do you understand? The chaos is here. We are the calm. Some would say we're the storm. We're the eye in the middle of the storm. We are the calm in the storm. So we are the storm and we are the calm. We are both. We are coming to destruct and reconstruct all at the same time. It will be torn down and rebuilt. That is the knowledge coming through right now. It'll be torn down and rebuilt. One by one, brick by brick, person by person. Province by province. I always said I was going to come back here to make a difference. To New Brunswick. Why New Brunswick? Because I'm from here. But why New Brunswick? Let's pedal back just a little bit. Where am I from? Physically here. I'm from New Brunswick. Where am I from in the stars? I've discovered I'm from Orion. I've known that for a little while, probably since 2020. Things like that have been coming through with Orion. I didn't know the message, didn't understand it. I was too delved into my relationship with my masculine to really understand any of all this. I just kept listening to him. Do you understand? Your first part of your journey as a feminine will be listening to your masculine. Then you got to start listening to yourself, and then you're going to start hearing others if you weren't already gifted. So I'm going through this journey of trying to find myself. In that journey, I always knew that there was a spark within me that I wanted to make a change. When I had my business out west, I saw big things for myself. That business was a multi-million-dollar business, and I fucked it up. I made it to my 6 figures as a single mom, and that was amazing. But I wasn't balanced. My books weren't completely balanced, and I was in the growth phase, and then life got too crazy, and I had to leave Alberta and leave everything that I owned, including my business that I worked so hard on. But I always knew that there was more for me. I always knew that I was here to make a difference. I can't explain it. I came back from New Brunswick in 2016, a mess. I talked about this last night. And when I came back from Alberta, a mess, I still had this fire in my belly that there was more. Because the last thing I wanted to do was come home and be on welfare again. Because when I left as a single mom, that's where I was. I wasn't always in the system. I always worked. But they were my backup. They were my back pocket. Because at the time, my son needed me and I wasn't there for him. Because I worked. Because that's what society told me I needed to do. And my little boy needed me. He struggled with ADHD and ODD. The ADHD was the one thing, but the ODD was another, because he would hit other children. He didn't understand he didn't know how to make full decisions because his frontal lobe wasn't developed right. So he was having a hard time in school. Or daycare. From the age of 3, it was really hard for me to keep a job because he needed me. But society kept telling me that I needed to have that job. But my child needed me. Do you understand where the struggle is? And so I would just get mad at my child as I needed to make money. How many people have done that? In a society where there's only one parent, it's hard. You don't have another person to rely on. It's hard enough having 2. Because now 2 parents need to work. I get, feminines, that you want to work and you want to have a career. I get it. I see you. I know you. I am you. But we need to rebalance this earth of masculine and feminine and what the father and the mother role looks like. We've gone too far there too. Our children are getting left behind because everybody's at work. And our school is fucking raising our kids. The system, the government is raising our kids. I don't know the answer. I'm just saying the truth. Maybe we had it right before when the one of us stayed home. Do you understand? We're built a certain way. Do you understand? The mom still needs to give the nurturing and the love. I'm not saying that a dad can't. I'm just coming from where I'm at because I'm a mother. They're saying we need to rebuild the family. And what it looks like here on earth, it's broken. The way we look at money is broken. And the consumables is what keeps it going. So I get it. I don't want to have to sell consumables, but at the same time, we need to. But I'll be very, very, very cautious of what I choose to sell to you. Something that you need anyways. That is natural. I want to be able to sell bulk to you and or the raw material for you to make it. Give you the recipes. You have to buy it anyways. You might as well buy it from me, and you might as well take my recipes with it. I can give kits of how to make things. There's ways that we, the people that are here to show the world to have less. We can still sell things because there's things that need to be sold. I see a big organization. I see me sourcing stuff from all over the world that's natural and organic, and you can sell them if you don't want me to sell it to you as a package. Could it be some sort of multi-level marketing? I suppose it could, but that wouldn't be the purpose of it. It definitely would get more people involved in the mission because money talks. The ones that are like me, we need to think outside of the box on how we're going to help this world. And we need money to do it. If I win the lottery, when I win that big one, I promise to give back. We are the lotto. Our story is the lotto. Everything that I've been writing and creating and doing, everything that we have been experiencing, this is a we, not a me. All of our stories with other people involved, of shelves falling, fires going out, doors closing, cans falling, faces appearing in other people, the portals, the signs, the eagles, the hawks, the feathers, the love, the beauty, everything that we have created is our 649. And with that, I intend to share the story with the world so that the world can understand that we can do better, that there is more, that the human race is more than what we ever thought it was. More, way more than we ever thought it was. Why me? Why you? Because it's our time to shine. That's why. Okay? Much love, light, and laughter, everyone. Stay empowered.